What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Marvel Kid 2.0 on Marvel Universe 2.0, and well, this is going to be my top 10 Decepticons list. And well, I came up with this video from my friend who thought it would be a good idea to make, which is from the Wolf Pack 2022. Please subscribe to his channel, and please subscribe to my channel. And well, leave a like on this video if you like my list, and well, please tell me what your list would be of your top 10 Decepticons in the list below, and let's get into the video. Alright, in last place, we have Starscream. Now, well, I know some of you would probably agree with me, but I bet some of you won't really agree with me with him being on this list. Or you would think he would be higher. But again, this is my thoughts, okay? So, the reason why Starscream is in 10th place for me is because Starscream never really grabbed me that much as a character. Yeah, sure, he's been from G1, but his storyline, like, I was okay when he died. I think it was a good thing, but I mean, like, the whole entire arc that he had needed to get to where he finally became a leader, and where he now felt like a leader, and when he died, it felt like his arc had ended and wasn't open-ended, and, well, his voice never really caught on to me, but in other universes, he has caught on to me a lot, and that's what got on to him being in my top 10. And well, if you guys don't like it, then fine. It's up to you. But yeah, Starscream's at number 10 for me. So, and in my number 9th place would have to be number 9 is going to be the Decepticon Skyquake. And that is because, well, Skyquake, he was never really in G1, and I'm okay with that. I love the G1 cartoon, but I love some characters that were not in the G1 cartoon, especially, and well, I just think that Skyquake just really caught on to me as a compelling villain. He was a good fighter. He wanted revenge for his brother's death, and well, he had a twin brother. Not that many Decepticons have a twin brother, and well, it really showed me, like, just because you're a Decepticon and you want a certain cause, it doesn't mean you have to believe in that cause 100%, as long as you know you're in the right place. And well, he felt like he was on the right place, even though he didn't feel like the Decepticons were good enough for him. He felt like he belonged to it because he gave his life to that. And well, unlike some Decepticons, they just do it because well, they believed in Megatron. He believed in Megatron in the beginning, but by the end of his run as a character, he didn't really believe in Megatron as much. And I really fell in love with that character arc. And he after fighting against the Autobots, he literally turned against the Decepticons, gave the Autobots something and that would help them in the long run. And well, if it wasn't for that, well, even though he died, he still did something that he was right to do. And well, I just really fell in love with this character. And well, it's time to get into number 7. Okay, now this is going to be my number 8th spot. Now, in my number 8th spot, I have the Decepticon Astro Train. Now, that's because of the fact that he's mostly, yeah, sure, he may not be a strong character, well, but he's a triple changer that is known for carrying around Decepticons and turning into a train, and why turning into a shuttle. And, well, he's proven to be a quite reliable character that they need to get around in for the Decepticons to move around. Without them, I mean, without him, they would be, well, wasting their fuel a lot when this guy can just carry them all around. And, well, to me, I think that that is a compelling factor that he needs to be there to help the Decepticons in the fact that they don't have a ship or the fact that they just don't want to waste their fuel, so they have Astro Train flying them around. And that's what makes him as a compelling villain, because even the fact when the Decepticons didn't have enough fuel to get around, he went out just to find Energon to leave the planet that they are trapped on to find some Energon for them. That way they won't die. He is someone who cares for others, but at the same time he hates humans. And, well, that alone makes him kind of like a compelling villain because you see him something like you've never seen before in this character. And that's what makes him a good villain. So, number 7. That's going to be the Decepticon. Oh, yeah, Soundwave. That's because, well, Soundwave is a compelling villain. I like the way he is. He seems terrifying. His voice, it's literally like scratchy. It the G1 voice really grew on me, and, well, it's not that scratchy in the G1, but I mean, like, he feels like a villain that's loyal to Megatron. And, well, even as the time goes on, he's still loyal to Megatron no matter what. Even if he doesn't have a voice or does have a voice, he is compelling. He's a compelling villain, and that's why he's in a bunch of these TV shows, unlike a couple of the villains from G1. And, well, that's why I think he makes a great villain in both this and in other TV shows. And, well, if it wasn't for him, heck, maybe we wouldn't have gotten Blaster. After all, Blaster is, he may not seem that good of an Autobot because of his character arc, but I mean, like, Blaster, he's a character that we never really touched upon him so much that really that I really fell in love with because there's so much uniqueness to his character. Yeah, sure, there may have been a Soundwave, but Soundwave, the reason why he's in my 7th spot is because he is unique, but I feel like there's stronger characters in the so-called Transformers universe. And that's why Soundwave is in my number 7th spot. And, well, let's get into the next spot. And in my number 6th spot, I have Cyclonus. Now, Cyclonus, the reason why he's in my 6th spot is because Cyclonus, I'm not going to go into the whole fact that he's basically Starscream, but minus the fact that he wants to take down Megatron. He's loyal to his leader, which is Galvatron, which is Megatron reincarnated in the G1 cartoon. Well, you see, he's a loyal Decepticon to Galvatron, and he likes being a loyal. He likes being that. He wants to prove himself to Galvatron that he is worthy to be his second in command. And, well, he reminds me a little bit of Ultra Magnus. And, well, in fact, even those two have a rivalry against each other because Ultra Magnus at this time is the second in command to Rodimus Prime, and, well, they're both military related fighters, and well, they're both skilled warriors. Cyclonus is a great warrior on the battlefield. He even proves to be a great Decepticon when needed. He even makes good decisions as a compelling villain, and even on his own, he's still a villain that will make you shiver if you really look into the story and see what he has done. Yeah, sure, he may not be known as much, but in the comics, he straight up killed a couple of the Autobots in on his own too. So that alone, he deserves to be in the sixth spot. And in our fifth spot, we're going to have Shockwave. Now, Shockwave is in the fifth spot because Shockwave is terrifying, shocking. You don't know what he's gonna do, and well, every time you look at him, you always know that something bad is going to happen. No matter what you do, you can't get away from the fact that when you see him on the screen, you know that he has some messed up plan that could destroy everything. Now, I don't want to go into the movie to the third movie where he was in. He wasn't really that scary to me. He wasn't really that terrifying to me. He didn't feel like the villain he was in the comics and also in the G1 cartoon. Well, yeah, in the G1 cartoon he wasn't that terrifying, but he was a loyal Autobot, a loyal Decepticon to Megatron, but he stayed along on Cybertron. Now, he never left his post at all through that time because he was loyal enough to know not to leave when it's a order from Megatron himself. He doesn't want to disobey his leader. He wants to follow orders and stay the way he and stay what he and do what he needs to do, even if it means taking down. Well, even if it means dying in the process, like he did in the G1 cartoon when Unicron destroyed some of Cybertron. And well, even though in like most cartoons, you always see him, when you see him, you have a sense like, oh no, something bad will happen. Especially when you see him walking to one of your characters. You don't know one of the Autobots. You don't know if they're going to die, or you don't know if they're going to live either. You don't know what's going to happen. It all depends on what's going on with that character. And well, as we get into the top five, well, the top four anyway, I just want to say one thing. This top four, it's going to seem a little scary to you. It's going to seem like most of these villains you may not have heard of, some of these you might have, but most of these Decepticons, they have a right to be on here because they're terrifying and they show you something that you may not have seen and that you may not know what's going to happen to your main characters in the comic books or in the TV shows. So let's get into the remaining four. Now, in the number four will be Scorponok. Now, the reason Scorponok is my number four is because, well, Scorponok has proven that he can be scary and that he is good Decepticon, and he joined the Decepticon cause not just because he cared for what Megatron wanted, but what he wanted was to destroy the weak. And well, as I've said, I'm into the whole aspect that these characters have their own agenda. In fact, this character was not even made from the Quintessons in G1. He was made from another alien off world. And well, I forgot the name of the villain or the alien. All I know is that he came from the planet Nimbus, and that, well, he joined the Decepticon cause. That alien, he created Scorponok to join the Decepticon cause as a, as a way for him to get into the Decepticon cause. Later on, that changed, and he became a compelling leader. And he sprouted up the Decepticon ranks and became a good, leader. Now, with this whole aspect about him having all this entire backstory, you get the fact that he is not like a couple of these other Decepticons. He wants war, he wants to destroy the weak, and he found that the civil war between the Autobots and Decepticons was the best way to do it by destroying the weak Autobots. And because of that factor, he always felt like the weak deserved to die, so he never took prisoners, and he never took, captives. Well, that basically means the same thing, but what I mean is that he doesn't, if a Decepticon is shot or injured, he would leave them there. Unlike some Decepticons, like Megatron, when he was defeated in the G1 movie, Scorponok was not in the G1 movie, but if he did and he was in charge there, he would have left him behind. That alone, if he was in that one, he would want to leave anyone that's injured alone and leave them back there to die. And that alone makes me want to wonder, I don't want to be anywhere near him, especially the kill count he's racked up over the years. I don't want to be anywhere near this guy. He's terrifying. He can transform into a scorpion. He can transform into a city. And man, why would you want to be near that guy who would, if you were on his team, I would want to get out of there. I would leave. I would not want to be part of him at all. I wouldn't even want to be near him because that alone, if I got shot and injured in the war and I needed help, he won't even care. He would just leave me there. That alone, why even, I just don't know. That guy is just terrifying, and I don't want to be anywhere near him. And because of this factor, he's in my number 4th spot. Time for the top 3. You guys ready? And in 3rd place, we have Overlord. Now, Overlord, the reason why he's in this list is because I always thought that Overlord was a cool villain. I liked the fact that he wanted to become the leader of the Decepticon cause. He was basically like a better Starscream to me. I felt terrified from him. He was desperately trying to take down Megatron, even after losing multiple times. In fact, even the IDW comics, after Megatron became Autobot, he became Overlord finally found him, challenged him to a fight, but Megatron had grown old and wished to not fight anymore. And when Overlord realized this, he left and created his own Decepticon cause to rival the Autobot cause. And this alone, I thought was pretty, cool because, one, after if he wanted vengeance against Megatron so bad that he felt like hunting him down to the ends of the earth just to win and take over and become the new leader of the Decepticons, and also to prove that he was better than Megatron. Of course, it never ended up happening, but still, he tried, and he may have lost multiple times, but he alone deserves this spot for his devotion on beating Megatron, so that he could become the leader of the Decepticons, and also prove that he was better than Megatron the whole time. Or maybe not the whole time, but to prove that he was better than him overall. And in 2nd place, we have Nemesis Prime. Now, the reason why I have Nemesis Prime in second place is because he's a compelling villain. He's better than. I think he's stronger than Overlord. I think he's better than all these characters on this list because of the fact that he is a Decepticon version of Optimus Prime. He's literally Optimus Prime without the moral side of Optimus Prime. And, well, that just proves to you that he is willing to destroy anything. He doesn't care. He just wants to destroy, and that he will be willing to do anything. And that alone, who would win against who would win? Heck, Optimus Prime is a strong character. Megatron's a strong character. They always battle. They're evenly matched most of the time, but still, if there was a Decepticon version of Overlord, if there was a Decepticon version of Optimus Prime battling Optimus Prime, that would be totally sick. You don't know what would happen. It would be a total battle that you would never expect to see, and it would be interesting to see if they ever do that. And that's why he is in second place, because I think he's a compelling and strong villain. And I've always felt like Optimus Prime was like my favorite Autobot. He's always been. And, well, if there's an evil version of him, which I'm glad that I've gotten to read and see, that alone has just proven that there is someone that can take on Optimus Prime without there being Megatron. And, well, that leads us to my number one spot, and most of you have probably guessed it already. And that is, the first person in my number one spot is, of course, Megatron. You should have guessed this already, because mostly Megatron is like the best Decepticon there is. He may not be the strongest, but he's the best because of the fact that he started the Decepticon cause. He literally chose this path. He was a gladiator. He was multiple things in the comics, and, well, he was even Optimus Prime's friend, and, well, in some coordinations of the characters, but still, Megatron, after every time, he's always proven that even though he loses, he always keeps coming back, and he never gives up until the Autobots are completely destroyed, and that Cybertron is completely his, and that, well, that alone just shows you that he is strong, he can do anything as long as he wants to, and he is willing to give anything to win the overall battle against the Autobots. And that's why he is in my number one spot. Now, this may be a long video, but I needed to make this a long video to give you my thoughts on all these characters and my top 10, and give you what my top 10 list of Decepticons is. And, well, I hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you next time. Marvel Kid 2.0 is out.